Have you ever wondered if ancient people knew things we've completely forgotten? Not just simple tricks or clever building methods, but technologies so advanced that even today, scientists can't fully explain them. These aren't myths or conspiracy theories. They're real discoveries that continue to puzzle historians, engineers, and researchers around the world. Some of these inventions were so far ahead of their time that they feel completely out of place in history. So let's take a look at some of the most mysterious ancient technologies ever discovered. The first one is the Antikythera Mechanism. In 1901, Greek sponge divers were exploring a shipwreck near the island of Antikythera. The ship had sunk around 65 BC, carrying statues, pottery, and other valuable cargo. Among the wreckage was a lump of corroded bronze that looked completely unimportant. For months, it sat inside a museum with the rest of the recovered artifacts. Then something unexpected happened. The bronze cracked open, revealing dozens of tiny gears hidden inside. After years of research using X-rays, CT scans, and 3D imaging, scientists realized this wasn't just another ancient object. It was an incredibly advanced mechanical computer. The Antikythera mechanism contained more than 30 precision-cut bronze gears working together to perform calculations that were unbelievably complex for its time. It could predict solar and lunar eclipses, track the movements of the 5 known planets, calculate the dates of the Olympic Games, and even model the moon's irregular orbit. Think about that for a second. This device was built over 2,000 years ago. What's even stranger is that after it was created, humanity wouldn't build another machine with similar mechanical complexity for nearly 1,400 years. It's like discovering a modern laptop inside a Viking grave. It was found on a trading ship. That means someone was transporting it across the Mediterranean, suggesting it probably wasn't the only one ever made. If one survived by pure chance, how many more are still buried beneath the sea? Next, in 672 AD, the Byzantine Empire faced a massive Arab fleet outside Constantinople. The odds were against them. Then the Byzantine ships unleashed a weapon unlike anything their enemies had ever seen. Flames shot from bronze tubes mounted on the ships, spreading across the water itself. But this wasn't ordinary fire. It kept burning even on the surface of the sea. Sailors who jumped into the water expecting safety found themselves surrounded by flames that refused to die. Entire ships disappeared within moments. This mysterious weapon became known as Greek fire, and for nearly 800 years, it protected the Byzantine Empire from repeated invasions. Its reputation became so frightening that some enemy fleets reportedly retreated before battle even began. The strange part is that nobody today knows exactly what it was made from. The formula was one of the greatest state secrets in Byzantine history. Only a few trusted people knew it, and they carried that knowledge to their graves. When Constantinople fell in 1453, the secret disappeared forever. Modern chemists have suggested mixtures involving petroleum, sulfur, pine resin, quicklime, and saltpeter, but none of those recipes perfectly match the historical descriptions. Now let's move to a technology that still embarrasses modern blacksmiths: Damascus Steel. During the Middle Ages, sword makers in the Middle East produced blades that became legendary across the world. These weren't ordinary swords. Stories claimed they could slice through weaker blades, hold an incredibly sharp edge, and even cut a silk scarf drifting through the air. Their beautiful flowing patterns weren't simply decoration. They revealed something unique happening inside the metal itself. Then, in 2006, scientists studying an authentic Damascus blade under an electron microscope discovered something astonishing. The steel contained carbon nanotubes. These microscopic carbon structures are among the strongest materials known to science. Modern researchers officially identified carbon nanotubes only in 1991, yet somehow they appeared inside swords made hundreds of years earlier. No one believes medieval blacksmiths understood nanotechnology the way we do today. The original production methods disappeared around 1750, likely after important trade routes changed and the special ores became unavailable. Even with modern equipment, matching the structure and performance of genuine Damascus steel has proven incredibly difficult. Another ancient invention continues to challenge modern engineers every single day. Walk into Rome and you'll find the Pantheon, completed in 125 AD. Its massive concrete dome has survived almost 2,000 years of earthquakes, floods, wars, and changing weather. Meanwhile, much of today's concrete begins showing serious damage after only a few decades. Then, in 2023, scientists at MIT discovered something surprising. Tiny white pieces of lime inside the concrete, once believed to be construction mistakes, actually serve an important purpose. When water enters small cracks, these lime fragments dissolve and form new minerals that naturally seal the damage. In other words, Roman concrete can repair itself. Now let's head to one of the world's greatest archaeological mysteries, the Nazca Lines. Around 500 BC, the Nazca people of southern Peru began creating enormous designs across the desert floor. A giant spider, a hummingbird, a monkey with a spiral tail, straight lines stretching for miles. Some figures measure well over 1,000 feet long. Here's the strange part. From the ground, many of these designs are almost impossible to recognize. They're best seen from hundreds of feet in the air. But the Nazca people had no airplanes and no known way to view the complete artwork from above. The most accepted explanation is that they carefully used ropes, stakes, and scaled drawings to expand smaller designs into giant images. In 2020, archaeologists uncovered a giant cat design that had remained hidden for nearly 2,000 years. And those aren't the only mysteries. Around 250 BC, people in Mesopotamia, modern-day Iraq, created small clay jars containing copper cylinders and iron rods. Today, we call them the Baghdad Battery. When scientists filled replicas with acidic liquids like vinegar or grape juice, the jars generated about 1.1 volts of electricity. Some researchers believe they may have been simple storage containers. Others think the design is too deliberate to ignore. The debate continues because no one knows their original purpose with certainty. Then there's the incredible Lycurgus Cup. This Roman glass cup from the 4th century AD performs a trick that still amazes people today. Viewed normally, it appears green. Place a light behind it, and it suddenly turns a deep red. Scientists later discovered that the glass contains tiny particles of gold and silver, measuring only about 50 nanometers across. Whether Roman craftsmen fully understood the science or simply mastered the technique through experience, the result was centuries ahead of its time. High above Cusco, Peru, stands another masterpiece, the walls of Sacsayhuamán. Some limestone blocks weigh up to 130 tons, yet they fit together so perfectly that sliding even a sheet of paper between them is nearly impossible. No cement, no mortar, just stone fitted against stone with incredible precision. Despite centuries of powerful earthquakes, much of the structure still stands. Exactly how these enormous blocks were shaped, transported, and positioned remains one of archaeology's biggest questions. Then we have perhaps the world's most mysterious book, the Voynich Manuscript. Written sometime during the early 1400s, it contains around 240 pages, filled with an unknown writing system. Strange plants that don't match any known species, astronomical diagrams, and illustrations unlike anything found in other medieval books. Experts from military code breakers to modern AI researchers have tried decoding it. So far, no one has succeeded. The writing follows consistent language patterns, suggesting it isn't random nonsense, yet not a single sentence has been confidently translated. It's still one of history's greatest unsolved puzzles. Finally, there's Puma Punku in Bolivia, located more than 12,800 feet above sea level. This ancient site contains massive stone blocks carved with astonishing accuracy. Many feature perfectly straight edges, smooth surfaces, identical drilled holes, and interlocking shapes that fit together with incredible precision. The stones are made from andesite and diorite, two of the hardest types of rock. Yet the civilization that built them had no iron tools, no steel, and no known writing system. Even today, engineers admire the remarkable craftsmanship. So what do all these discoveries have in common? The Antikythera Mechanism, Greek fire, Damascus Steel, Roman concrete, the Nazca Lines, the Baghdad Battery, the Lycurgus Cup, Sacsayhuamán, the Voynich Manuscript, and Puma Punku all remind us of the same thing. History isn't a straight line. Knowledge can disappear. Entire technologies can be forgotten. Skills that once existed can vanish for centuries before being rediscovered or remain lost forever. Every time archaeologists uncover another buried city, another shipwreck, or another forgotten artifact, they aren't just finding old objects. They're uncovering pieces of human knowledge that time almost erased, which raises one final question. If these are only the ancient technologies we've already found, what incredible inventions are still waiting beneath the oceans, hidden under deserts or buried deep underground, just waiting for someone to discover them?